Welcome back to the show, folks, and today I have my first guest on the show, and it is Mr. Jamie McBrearty. Jamie, along with his business partner Nikki Lothian, I know them through their business, Discovery Coaching, and they both do a course called Thinking into Results. I've been doing it this whole year, and it is a course that was created by Canadian entrepreneur and a personal development coach Bob Proctor, along with his business partner Sandy Gallagher. It's called Thinking into Results. Jamie and Nikki are consultant and coaches for the course and run it in Scotland, and have people from all over the UK as well, and further afield. Jamie is a fellow Dundonian like myself. I wanted to get to know him a bit more. We talk about mindset, we talk about his upbringing, we talk about his love of football, and how different events of his life have put him into the position where he is today. Super excited because we've just recorded it, and I would say that I'm super grateful for him to do it, and I'm sure if you are gracious enough to give me the time of watching the video and watching the conversation, I'm sure you will get some absolute pieces of utter gold throughout the next hour or so that the conversation happens. Jamie shared a lot more than what I ever thought or imagined or ever dreamed of. I became very vulnerable. I'm truly grateful for the conversation. I'll remember it for the rest of my days, and I hope you enjoy. And without further ado, we will go on to the clip. Take it away. Sorry, actually, I should mention something. Since this is the first one, there's always going to be problems, isn't there? Now, I've realised that the battery on this camera only lasts about 55 minutes. So, apologies, you will see at some point it just cuts immediately and goes, sorry, and we'll continue on. Apart from that technical glitch, hope you enjoy the conversation. All the best, and we'll see you at the end. Take care. I'm going to start with this. I am in harmony with my goal. I think it, I feel it, and I act on it now. Everything I desire is moving towards me because I'm taking inspired action daily, and I love it. Where's that from?
Where is that from? So, how does that quote make you feel? How does that affirmation make you feel?
That quote is actually one of the reasons why I've asked you to do this podcast.
Okay.
For those at home, I listened to this. This was part of the GPS 3-day program that I did with you last week, and this was an affirmation that we had to do as a little bit of homework, and I had to write 50 times, and it's got me moving forward. As I said, act on it now. And so just a little way to open the door of what was GPS, and more specifically, what is paradigms.
Okay, so
I'll give the P away, sorry.
That's okay. Go back. We'll go back to this particular affirmation here. So this really resonated with myself. So a bit of background to me, being a global coach and consultant, working in partnership with the Proctor Gallagher Institute, which was started by the world famous Bob Proctor, who is sadly no longer with us. However, his legacy will live on for generations to come. We really specialise in helping individuals change their thinking to change their lives. And the real problem with most people globally is that most people don't think. Because if we did think, then we wouldn't say half the stuff that we say in the first place.
Yeah.
But we may also start to really understand a lot of other things that happen in life. So what we do is we help people think better, feel better, act better, and essentially you get better results in any part of your life. So the context of this particular affirmation came from, as coaches, we are regularly going on training. We train, we invest in ourselves, we are passionate about lifelong learning being one of our core values. And when we meet regularly, we learn stuff. And the stuff I learn, and me and Nikki, my business partner, learn, we aim to share that with as many people as we can. If it's an impact on us, it will impact on many, many people. So this particular affirmation was from a few weeks back when we were being challenged to think about, right, it's now October. Many people start to think about Christmas, start to think about next year, start to slow down, when actually there is so much time still within this year to really go after what you really want. So we were challenged about a number of questions. What do you want? What do you really want? If you could have one thing or change one thing between now and the end of the year, what would it be? And you're thinking illogically, you're not thinking, well, I've got this amount of days left. No, you've got to park logic and go after what you really want. And then the question was, if that's what you want, what's holding you back? So what's holding you back is your paradigms, which we'll come on to. And in order to really spend time with this on a regular basis, you need to have something that you repeat to yourself. So we know through the work we do that if you spend time with your goal every single day, you spend time with affirmations that are getting you to really believe in yourself, to change the perception of yourself, to change the limiting beliefs we've got about ourselves, then we need to have something that we fall in love with. So this particular affirmation was given to us by our mentor on the programme, and this really resonated with myself. It really resonated with Nikki because a lot of what we are doing right now is talking about alignment. Most people are not aligned with who they are and where they're going in life because they don't understand they've got so much untapped reservoirs of potential buried deep within inside. And if we did, we wouldn't do half the things we did, and we would go after what we really want by taking perceived risks. So this quote, I am in harmony with my goal, means that you are aligned with what you really want and desire in this life. Now, a lot of the stuff we talk about sounds a bit woo. But every person who's succeeded in life had to start with an idea, that's what I want. If you want a MacBook, you have an idea, you follow through with the action, and you manifest that MacBook into your life. There's no difference between a MacBook and going after something really, really big. For some people, a MacBook is like a massive, massive goal. For other people, it's like, I want more. So your goal is your goal, not anybody else's. So once you say, I am in harmony with my goal, then it gives you an understanding, the next part of, well, how do you do that? Well, you think it, i.e. you come up with a picture in your mind, you feel it, what would it feel like if you actually achieved it? I act on it now means that you're doing what is necessary to attract all the ideas and the people and the resources into your life, to create the conditions, the circumstances, the environments in your life, and the results. And the inspired action part is not just acting, it's inspired action. Every day you're inspired, I'm doing this. Not I've got to do this, I get to do this. And I love it. So all the words in there merge together. Because when you read that out, do you feel excited?
Yes.
And that's what we want. That feeling of excitement means that's a feeling, it's a vibration, it's a frequency. And Einstein talked about this. If everything's energy and you match the frequency of what the good thing you desire, you cannot help but attract that into your life. So you spend time with this all the time. And it's different for everybody, but that one affirmation can be the same for everybody, but it's different for everybody. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. For me, doing the exercise, having to do it 50 times, sort of first 15, 20 going through it, and I felt like, it's funny, like one of the people in the group was like doing my lines. And like when that first mentioned it was like a little bit cynical, but like, when I got to like 10 it was sort of like, ugh. But as you go through it, the two words that actually really connected with me was harmony obviously being musical, but also now. And I actually read back the 50 I managed to do. For some reason, I started with 5 lines, and then it then became 4 lines, and then became 3 lines, and for some reason I was capitalising everything I desire. And then I'd change that. The process of writing through that evolved as I went through all 50, and through the evolving of the writing, actually, like inside me evolved into actually feeling alignment, in harmony, and as I said, aiming on now. And that's why I've asked you to do this. And I'm finding it mental that how 2 sentences is actually like, and the process of just writing that again and again and again. There's 2 things going on in my head. I'm going, that's mental, and 2, we should do this for wee kids in schools. That would be hilarious, doing their lines. But that's a different story. Really inspirational.
Yeah. So, and you wrote that 50 times?
Yeah.
Just the once?
What do you mean?
You only wrote it out 50 times one time?
I've done it a few times over the last week. When I've done it, like
so
before I go to bed.
Every time 50 times?
No.
So you've accumulated 50?
I've done about 55 in total.
Okay, so let's talk about paradigms.
Okay.
So before we talk about paradigms, let's think about where paradigms come from. And what paradigms mean is a multitude of habits that influences our behaviour. And all our behaviour is habitual, which means it's all about habits. And it's our deep programming from an early age. So the beliefs we've got about the world, the beliefs we've got about money, relationships, success, failure, education, school, career, all these different beliefs we've inherited from the environments we've been around, what people have said. As we get older, our own interpretation of things, these experiences that have a lot of emotion attached. So we lobby what we believe about the world, we lobby what we believe about other people, and we lobby what we believe about ourselves. And we talk about that self-concept regularly. So there's things we need to work on, would you agree?
Yep.
Give me one thing you think I can do better at.
Bedtime routine.
Okay. So evening or morning?
Evening.
Okay. So that belief might be, I'm not very good at switching off at night. I'm not very good at switching off at night. You might be having a chat with somebody else and we're talking about evening routines, and you might go, you know what, I'm not very good at that. And every time you're saying that, you are adding more value to that belief.
On top of that belief.
You are affirming that belief. I am not good at this. 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 So you can understand why these beliefs stay entrenched.
Yeah.
Because you keep on affirming them. I'm not very good at that. I'm hopeless at that. I'm terrible at that. But most people accept that self-definition about not being good. And everyone goes, right enough, I'm crap at this as well. Let's all talk about what we're crap at.
They keep telling themselves the same thing. Yeah.
So we affirm these affirmations to ourselves all the time, which solidifies the beliefs. So the reason that we do affirmations like this, that excite you, that might at first go, what's this about? Is it really true? Can it happen? Because we're doubting this. So paradigms, which are not all not negative, they've got some really positive paradigms, which means you've got some positive habits about a number of things. It could be about your morning routine, it could be about diet, it could be about fitness, it could be about things you do really well. So you've got some good, empowering beliefs and paradigms. But if you want to change the things that are blocking you, that are limiting you, then it's a really, really simple process to do it, called autosuggestion, which is self-suggestion, which we do all the time. And we do it in conversations every single day. You lobby what you're good at. You lobby what you're not so good at. And you do it with absolute pride. And that's the thing, when you talk about these affirmations with emotion, really, with grit and determination, I am so bad at that. And your subconscious is going, really? And your subconscious cannot differentiate what is good or bad, positive or negative. It just takes in whatever is emotionally intact with your thoughts.
Yeah.
So the language of the subconscious mind is feelings, is emotion. So paradigms are what help people move towards their goals, because we've got positive beliefs, I can achieve this, I can do this, and other ones are the beliefs that I cannot do that, I can't possibly achieve that, I'm not that type of person. So if you want more empowering beliefs, i.e. you want more empowering paradigms, and the only way to change paradigms is not working on the old one, because the old one is there, it's working on building a new one that suffocates the old one, because you give more energy and attention to that. It's like having 2 children.
Yeah.
No. So I am the firstborn. First 2.5 years of my life, I was king of the world. And that first 2.5 years of my life has really embedded who I am as a person. I got love, I got the attention.
Yeah.
I can be confident and gallus because I was the first boy in the family. I was centre of attention.
Yeah.
And then my wee brother made his great debut on this planet. I mean, what's going on here? So all the attention went to my younger brother.
Yeah.
And we had a great relationship. But although the attention was focused on him, and he was getting the love and the nurture, quite rightly so, due to that love I got in the first 2.5 years of my life, and the first 3 years in a children's life is the most important for brain development.
Absolutely.
My programme was set, almost set, half set, which meant that although the focus was going across to my brother, I still had those beliefs that I'm good, I'm important, I love being centre of attention, I love all this. So yeah, then I had to deal with somebody else in my life, and the brother and the sibling stuff, which again, created other parts of my paradigm. About maybe being competitive, maybe about, okay, how do I get attention, and there was other things that happened, and belief systems would come from there.
Yeah.
But those first 3 years of my life are bedded in.
Yeah.
All based on love and emotion. So that'll never leave me. But the other limiting beliefs that came in when I was 2.5 years, if somebody else is here, am I still good enough?
Yeah.
Why do I feel inferior? Why do I feel like a bit of an imposter at times? Because sometimes I don't always get the attention. So there's key critical things in my paradigms that have held me back as I grow up, not realising it.
Yeah.
And when I reflect on now on the material that we work with, I now understand who I am more than ever. So I can't change the inner child in me.
Yeah.
The first 7 years of my life, bedded in with lots of love, lots of attention, lots of nurturing, experiential, all that, and then that doubt, am I still good enough? And that didn't come from anybody directing that, it just comes from having another sibling.
Yeah, circumstance.
Circumstances like that. But it can have a profound effect about choices you make in life, the goals that you set, what you believe you can achieve.
Yeah.
And it's a bit of a yin and yang. You've got that ambivalence inside of you, tug of war about do I, don't I, shall I, shouldn't I, won't I, and that's taking me. I take risks.
Yeah.
I'm really brave at times, and other times I can regress.
Yeah.
Other times, and it's interesting. We talk about being extroverted and introverted. I've got a bit of both.
Yeah.
Depending on the circumstances, depending where I am. And people will see me, the outer image of me, different from how I see myself. So all that is basically saying we've got all these different paradigms.
Yeah.
So what is a paradigm? It's your programming of how you see yourself. Which I love, because a lot of people will see me as being successful, confident, really want to be progressive and motivated and driven. But there's another part of me who knows me saying, you should have seen what I could have really done. If I had that belief, if I had that drive at times where I knew I took the easy option, maybe when I did regress, and I said to God, oh, come on, let's just go. Because at times I was really concerned about other people's opinions.
Yeah.
And I still am, because that's part of me. And I know that's one of the biggest fears that people have got. What do people think about me? So part of your paradigm is that self-image, that self-concept you've got of yourself. And that's something that I know now, the work that we do in helping people feel free and liberated, that's the work that I'm going through has helped me. When I understood that that part of me that had those insecurities and had impacts on relationships, had impacts on myself and how I treated myself, had impact on career and what I could have done and what I could have done. No regrets, but a deep understanding now that I think I'm at half time. I think I'm sitting in the changing room going, whoa, what a first half. Lots of wins, lots of learning.
Yeah.
Okay, what am I going to do when I step up on that pitch? Not for the next 45 minutes. How do I take all that learning and implement it within the first 5 minutes of the half?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
And really, really go for it. Now knowing I've got all this knowledge and experience and awareness, how do I really step up and level up now to go after what I really want?
Yeah.
Which means put to one side what I think that people think.
Yeah. People's opinions.
Yes.
Wow. I'm resonating so much with that, by the way. Put my own context as you were just saying that there. It's funny you mentioned football. We've talked previously about football and particularly how it's sort of, it's formed my life quite sizable, and I know personally from getting to know you, it's formed you personally. Any hopeful potential listeners probably know you potentially more from football previously. Mm-hmm. Is that where you started your coaching? Or where did you start coaching?
Yeah, well, listen, I think coaching probably wasn't a term I used at all. I've always had an innate, and maybe this probably has came but from being a big brother. Always wanted to help.
Yeah.
Always loved.
Same as me. I'm a big brother and wanted to help the wee brother.
And probably grown up in the Catholic faith as well. Just wouldn't say, I hated church. I come to Sunday, hate church for two reasons. Mm-hmm. One, going there, like it's a Sunday, early. But two, if I never went, oh my God, the grief you got for the priest. Karen McKerney. It would always be, McBrearty, why were you not at church? And I was always, I've used that one. I've been in my aunties every weekend, I can't use that. But never again, mum and dad wouldn't have gone because maybe it just would be away or something.
Yeah.
But that joking aside, the stories and the parables and everything to do with just genuinely helping, it really resonated with me. I grew up in my education. I had a great education. The schools I was in, the teachers I had, the peers that I had, the community that I had, genuinely was all about just loving thy neighbour. Really understanding and respecting. I never respected everybody all the time. We used to get a few fights and stuff because maybe your chimp monkey brain was taking over as your human part of the brain. But the conscientiousness of being remorseful of certain things, all these kind of core values I've got was generally about I want to really help others. Probably too much to the point of being a people pleaser at times, because again that inferiority complex might be I need people to like me. Because my wee brother took centre stage back then. I need to be liked. So I understand that now. But at the same time, I do have a deep, genuine purpose in life that I want to help individuals. I'm here for a reason. I've got real, genuine love for people. So that's not coaching, that's just wanting to help. But as I went through school, I was okay at football. And I had trials with professional clubs. But when I went into that context with others, I did not believe in myself. I felt, I'm out my depth here. When other people said, no, you're not.
Yeah.
But my self-concept was, yeah, I am. Potentially because my little brother was better than me. So that rivalry.
Yeah.
But as part of me, it's always been, how do I get out of this? I'll use my mates as an excuse. So instead of concentrating football, at a young age in teenage years, my mates, and maybe drink at the weekends and maybe turning up and not performing that well, knowing that when I played, I found playing easy. I would score a lot of goals. But I knew that next level up meant an extra level of commitment.
Yeah.
Don't mind hard work, but it's the self-belief.
Yeah.
The what if. So I almost came fascinated that when I left school, I would take the easy option, maybe go and play amateur, whereas like you get to that semi-professional club because you're not playing amateur.
Yeah.
Because other people believed in me, and I bumped along at that semi-professional level. And at times again, my mates were an excuse that I never really took that seriously. And then come to the end of my playing career when I probably did start taking more pride in myself and fitness, you're kind of at 27, 28 going, I'm actually alright, man. But it's a wee bit late now.
Yeah.
All because of maybe pleasing other people instead of putting myself first, and maybe taking the easy option out rather than doing it. So all of these things. But understanding myself now, I've always been seen as being in a position of leadership wherever I went. When I think back from school to college to uni to even playing football, people would always see me as like, you can take this or you can do that. Or from having hoves of people around a computer in uni in the library going, right, Jamie, you can guide us here.
Yeah.
I was intelligent enough, but I could have done more, but there was a sense of like people were, right, Jamie, help. And then when I was playing football, I was like, okay, you can either be captain or take the training or take the pre-season. So people, and then, well, the real reason was in 6th year, when I was injured, 1 year in 6th year, doing fitness, and I was just using some choice words with my classmates about getting around the fitness track a wee bit more. So I was really projecting my voice, and this is where it really started. A supply teacher that I'd never met before in my life was actually taking the class at the time, and she came across to me in these words. This changed the direction of my life. I wanted to be an RAF but couldn't because I was colourblind. Wanted to be in the fire brigade, couldn't because I was colourblind. What you meant to do? Stayed at school, took my hires, failed them, stayed on again, alright, bit my finger out and get it done.
Yeah.
Still no idea what to do. Then she came up to me and said, do you know you would make a good sports coach? And I went, oh. I knew what a coach was, but I never had thought about, well, what's that? So I went to my guidance teacher and she said, yep, there's a prospectus, have a look at that. And then that thing happened again. There's uni or college. I went, I can't do uni. Not undermining college.
Yeah.
Well, I'll take the easy option, college, which I thought was the easy option. That was the best option I had because Dundee and Angus College changed my life.
Really?
The blended learning that happened then was way more appropriate for me than going to uni.
Right.
And actually the coaching I got and the people I was with, if I never went to college, I would never had the opportunities because I started coaching the Dundee Football Club when I was 18.
Wow. Nice.
Through a former football player, Kenny Cameron, who was my lecturer.
Ah.
So I got into the community side of it. A few years at the community side of it, went to the youth initiative side of it, so with youth development. And then went to uni after that, and then worked for the club for 9 months. Back in the day when the Benettis were there, and Caniggia and all these magnificent.
Could be amazing.
But I knew it's probably not a career in it for me. So I went and worked for sports development in the local authority, sports development. Did it for 2.5 years, and lo and behold, after 2 years, 24, I became a manager and a leader.
Oh wow.
And that was me as a manager of a sports development team. Best years of my life. The fun we had in sports development. 25-year-old manager with 5 lads 21. It was chaos, but we worked hard and we got some great impact. But loved it. So again, being in a leadership position, was I coaching them? Probably, but I was leading them, always wanting the best for them. There's no coincidence all of them are wanting bigger, better things now because we worked hard and we impact and every one of them are either got their own businesses and leadership positions because that's what became of us as a mantra in the team. And then after that, I took on leadership roles in terms of managing swim centres, sports development centres, other staff. Had an opportunity to manage the entire sports development section at the time, which was the biggest in Scotland at the time, with 4 managers, 50 full-time officers, about 150 coaches and about 200 volunteers, and here's me at the top of the tree, not having a clue what I wanted to do 12 years before that. But what I learnt through all of that, and then a few years after that, Professor Carol Dweck, Growth Mindset, came to Dundee, and I was in a role. I'm going to come back to the harmony stuff in a second.
Okay.
And my gaffer said, we've actually got this lady coming across from America about mindset and stuff, you come along and listen in. Went along and loved it. That was my that was my cup of tea.
Yeah.
Mindset, potential. I always remember back at university, one of the essays I did around my own coaching philosophy. I was reading a book by John Lyle called The Coaching Process, and one of the lines that stuck out to me when I was studying coaching. So I've got an honours degree in coaching and sports development. So it's not, I don't know what coaching is. I just didn't see myself as a coach. But there's one line that coaching is being a master of instantaneous response.
Nice.
And I thought, that's it. Because there's this whole argument about coaching being an art or a science, like teaching and like anything else.
Yeah.
As a coach, being the master of instantaneous response means that you are switched on to everything.
Yeah.
And I love that, and a lot of the stuff around human potential, the work of John Wooden and the Acorn and all that was me. I absolutely loved that.
Yeah.
So when Professor Dweck came to Dundee and her and the work of mindset, I'm like, wow, this stuff's amazing. I had to leave the lecture early. And a couple of weeks later, my gaffer called me into my office. Now, me and my gaffer had a wee running around the room at that time.
Okay.
Due to an insane travel policy. Now, we're all sports development people. We had to travel the city, but got equipment and stuff, and they wanted us to travel in buses and ask for permission to take that. Anyway, I was absorbing the negative energy from my staff saying, Jamie, what are we doing? So I would go to my gaffer and say, what are we doing about this and that. So this is when my level of vocabulary was lower than what it is now. And I went in one day and he called me belligerent. And I thought it was a compliment. So I looked up the synopsis.
Oh, it was.
Oh, that's cool. So I kind of went, and that was the turning point for me.
Really?
Now, because I'm really concerned what people think about me.
Aye.
Remember, I'm a people pleaser.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody who's got authority over me, and I'm looking for career progression, thinks I'm belligerent.
Yeah. And it's not a compliment.
And it's not a compliment. And I remember it. And at the time, I was involved with a network marketing company at the time to bring in some additional money for my youngest daughter to be born. And so I fell in love with personal development.
Yeah.
Worked with Jim Rohn, Bob Proctor, Zig Ziglar, all of these big global personal development people. And I started to really understand mindset and attitude and just everything.
Yeah.
And I remember before Professor Dweck came, I said, I need to change my attitude here. This is not serving me. So I went into a meeting with him and said, look, listen, all this stuff about the travel policy, etc., please don't let that overshadow. I'm here for this organisation. I am ambitious. I've said to you before, I'm looking for personal advancements here, and please rely on me if you want to take this company anywhere you want. I am your man. So 3 weeks later, when I went to his office, I thought, what am I getting now?
Yeah.
And he just said, what did you think of that conference last week with Professor Dweck? I went, absolutely loved it. That is me. My ethos, my philosophy. I could have listened to it all day, but unfortunately I had to leave early. I can't remember what, I had something on. And he went, well, I'm glad you liked it, because there's a partnership happening between us and the council and a few other partners, and they're all putting resources into the pot. And we're putting a human resource into the pot. And it's you. I said, what do you mean? He said, well, we're going to pilot a growth mindset project in Dundee, and your name was brought up at the meeting, and every partner around the table agreed that you're the man to take it forward.
Brilliant.
That wouldn't have happened if I did not change my belligerent attitude towards him. So the way I changed my energy attracted a change in me. I remember going into the car, I can't remember what movies off, I was in the car going, I'm thinking, right, I've got a brand new project here on the same salary, I've got no staff, and I've got autonomy. My remit was raise awareness and test it for 2 years.
Right.
I'm like, I have made it. But that decision changed my life.
Wow.
Because I immersed myself in the work of mindset and created resources myself, and outsource resources to test growth mindset from an educational perspective, from a corporate perspective, from a community perspective, and from a sports perspective.
Yeah.
And really create some empirical research that to this day has really shaped our education in Dundee.
Yeah.
Around attainment, around attendance, around
Yeah.
behaviour, around a multiple of other things. And really proud of it. So
I was probably going, as a pupil going through it.
absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah. So as a coach, as a pupil probably. So
Yeah.
where were you in 2015?
I would have just left school,
Right, okay. So,
but I was there through 2006 to 12 at Maysel High.
So Professor Direct came at one of the Learning Festivals, I think 2009. That's when a lot of the first teachers started to implement it.
Yeah.
But we're really focused in Dundee on that. So it's left for about 10 years. So throughout the course of that, I had to start a business because a lot of mates were coming to me asking, "Can you do us a favour? My team need a wee bit of motivation. Could you come and do a
Can you do
either
that?
talk or a wee workshop?" And
Yeah.
and then I had other people in big companies. So I had legal companies coming to me, big companies in the oil and gas sector,
Right.
the retail sector, call centres. I'm thinking, I can't do favours for this. So I had to start a business.
Yeah.
And actually my business started with my mate who worked for Scottish Rowing at the time.
Okay.
Said, "Do you want to be keynote speaker at our annual conference down in Largs?" I went in, suppose. Then he said, "Well, you'll be keynote speaker on day 2. Any problem?" I went, "Oh, wait, whoa. Who's day 1? I went, "Nah, nobody. Well, who's day 1? Catherine Granger." Now, you know Catherine Granger's the most decorated Olympian in human history.
Yeah.
history. I went, "Wait a second here. Catherine Granger on day 1 and the boy from the Hilton on day 2. So again, self-image going, "Oh my God, you're an imposter."
Yeah.
But I went down there and on the back of that Scottish Rowing had me all over the country, and that's where my business started. And I wasn't at work, I was just going and sharing my knowledge and experience and sport and in education and business, and that's where my business started. So the whole thing about being a coach over lockdown, I knew that people needed me, so I created, when I was in lockdown and on furlough, I created a small Mindset Academy 4-week programme for ladies in a body shop or home business across the UK, and that meant a 4-week programme, about 40 to 50 ladies every 4 weeks, a one-to-one each day or each week for these ladies, which meant I had a structure, but I was coaching without being brave to say I'm a coach.
Yeah.
And then throughout that, knew the work of Bob Proctor. I wanted to be a coach with him at some point. I seen a coach of his who came gave us a workshop in a venue, and I fell in love with that. I went, that's what I want to do. So joined it as a consultant, not a coach, and then I thought I'm a coach. You know, been to uni, I've been studying, I've spent my life coaching, but I couldn't identify myself as anything else. I'm not a life coach or a business coach or whatever term it is. I just love helping people. Yeah. So I'm proud to say I am a coach. That's what my living is. But the self-image and identity part of it has only been here for the last 4 or 5 years.
Right, okay.
Due to the work that we now teach our clients.
Yeah. Wow. And that's how I know you through it. Now doing the course Thinking into Results. That's nuts. I'm just loving it because I don't know much about this. This is brilliant. I'm just getting to know your story. That's magic. I really resonate with the fact that, older brother, like one of my paradigms has been a people pleaser for years. And knowing it and also not being able to address it. And it's partly, it stemmed from being a younger brother, but also like, it's funny you mentioned being a pupil at school and finding yourself in leadership roles. It's very similar, and yet again in university for me as well, it was similar. And certainly I think on my heart has been and will always be helping people, and particularly at this moment in time, men. Like I've went through my struggles, a lot of people have. Like in preparing for this, I looked up some stats, and it was like, I'll start with the heavy ones the heavy ones first. I checked, suicide rate for men is 3 times this the female suicide rate in Scotland. Between 2011 and 2021, so 10 years, 73% of suicides were men. And the biggest sort of the age ranges, the heavier age ranges, was 35 to 39 in men and 50 to 54 in females. And then talking about more mental health problems, deprived areas are twice more as likely to experience depression and anxiety than most affluent. And 38% of our city, the city of Dundee, is labelled as high levels of deprivation. So there's mental health problems, and as a teacher I see it on a daily basis, and I feel like my teacher lens, you can see it throughout the whole society. I'm tying it both to thinking into results. I know a massive shift in my life in the first 9 months of this year, in terms of going from this sort of wee nervousness inside of me to I wouldn't say I'm calm yet, but like a noticeable shift, and I know it's through this programme, but it's just me. So my question is, what can people get from this programme in a more general term?
Wow. So everything you're saying, I'm Dundee born and bred, so I know those stats. I know more of the stats that they're only the tip of the
iceberg. Yeah.
So a couple of stories around that. Out with whether you live in areas of deprivation or poverty, whatever slogan you want. I came from an area of what you would deem as levels of high poverty, deprivation.
Yeah.
I'm doing alright.
Yeah.
And why is that? Because experiences in the early years gives you a grounding of who you're going to be. So just because your environment from a materialistic perspective might not be on par with others, does not mean to say that you're not in a loving environment that gives you the love and the grounding. And the work of Susan Zedike, have you ever looked at that? Who University of Dundee, originally from across the pond in the States. Whole theory about saber-toothed tigers and teddy bears analogy is that if you're growing up in an environment where there's a lot of threats, then you're at high alert in your life. Where if you're in a loving environment, teddy bears, then a lot calmer, the neurons in the brain, you're learning, your cognitive functions are a lot better. Why am I saying all this? Because we'll have an understanding of why people get to a point where they say, this is it, I've had enough. You can have an understanding that it's to do with they're running away from something they cannot get out of their head.
Yeah.
They're not in control of their thinking. And there's method to what I'm saying here, going back to that affirmation you said at the start.
Yeah.
When people genuinely believe they're stuck and they can't get what they're thinking, and also I've never experienced that level, but I've had people close to me who have.
Yeah.
Then it means that they don't. It's permanently there. And the only way that I could probably describe it to people who probably don't understand it, like myself, it's like it's being in love with somebody. When I fell in love with my wife, that's all I could think about, and I still think about my wife all the time. So I'm infatuated, I'm obsessed by the love of my wife, my love of my children. Actually, for the love of me, and a cheesy bit, but listen, the love of me, and that's a dominant thing I've got all the time. And not only the same, other people don't love the dark side of the thoughts, but they can't get out of their head. It's there permanently.
Yeah.
And I know this to be true because one of my friends from school, 2 years ago, took his own life as a result of him not being able to control his thinking.
Yeah.
Now, going through school, he was the smiliest, happiest, laugh that was infectious person you would ever see. And I knew that he was struggling mentally. He put a wee post up on social media. I reached out to him and I said, look, I can help. I help people to change their thinking. Let's go for a walk, let's go for a coffee. And he says, well, I can't go just now because I think someone had these colours, so he wasn't able to walk, and
Right.
sometimes he says, I wasn't back on my feet, let's do that, and I says, look, I'll give you my links to my free readers with my groups and stuff, look in there, I'll send you some things, they'll help with your thinking.
Yeah.
And a week later he was gone. And that gave me an understanding that it doesn't matter, the tools we're talking about in terms of changing paradigms, and when you get to that level there, there's a belief that you can't get out of that. You're I'm permanently stuck here. So the only way is to cut this off altogether. So when we're talking about these levels here, that's a real crisis level. And it's really humbling in terms of what I do now. And there is a calling for me at some point where I'm brave enough, and I'll be honest, there's still someone holding me back here, that I do want to create a programme for men.
Yeah.
And I've got a name for it as well.
Alright.
HIM.
Okay.
Helping Improve Males.
Brilliant.
And
Brilliant.
because us as males, we need help.
Yeah.
Not in terms of that crisis point, but to help us go after what we really want without the fear of our mates going check you bam pot.
Yeah.
Or why do you think you are? Or not fitting in with your social circles you've been around all your life. Breaking away from them. All these fears that men have got because the bravado and the fitting in and the likability and didn't be a bam is more important to their ego than actually breaking free and saying, I want to do what I truly want to do. Until people get married, families, and something that's more important than their social circle. But that's sometimes really, really hard. Which sometimes is a choice, and I respect other people who are fine and happy with life, but there's other ones who've got a yearn and want things to be better, but they don't know how.
Yeah.
So suppose what we're talking about here is control. How do you control your thinking? So going back to the affirmation, going back to paradigms, the only way to change those limiting beliefs about yourself is to create new, empowering beliefs that's going to take you forward. And the only way of doing that is by two ways. One, you can change your paradigm, you can change your behaviours and beliefs, boom, by an emotional impact. Now, I would suggest don't wait for one of these things to come along, because they're usually very, very negative. That you've had, maybe a member of the family had a significant health complication or event, and you went, I'm changing. It could be ourselves. It could be a paradigm in the world that makes us change something, COVID, something happens. But the other way, which takes work and effort, is constant spaced repetition. Writing affirmations 50 times every day for 90 days. People think that's illogical. How on earth would that change me? Because just like what you said, when you did that for 50 times over a period of time, you went from that first line that you wrote, going, what am I doing here, to capitalising certain words within that, saying, everything I desire. Now, if that happened over 50 lines, could you imagine 50 lines every day for 90 days? With your opposite hand.
That's chaos. Wow.
That's work. So, the reason I'm saying this, when you repeat an affirmation to yourself that is a lie, but you get emotionally involved in it, you believe it. So if you keep telling yourself, I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not good, that's a lie, because you've got potential to do whatever you know. For example, the common one, every individual, disregarding those who've maybe got some severe or some kind of cognitive function that can't think and calculate, everybody's got the potential to achieve higher level maths. You got higher maths? Okay, that's okay then. I don't, because I took the easy way out.
Okay.
Which I did the modular version of that, and one module away from higher maths equivalent. Anyway, that aside, a belief, and people say, I can't do maths, I hate maths. Don't speak about maths to me. That's a lie, but it's a belief system that maths is not for you. So you don't think you're a maths person. But the same maths person can hold 4 books of the bingo, can tell you the odds of the weekend for the horses, and work out what that is. But I'm not a maths person. It's just the relationship with maths or music.
Yeah.
On the flip of that, if you tell yourself, I am good at maths, I'm good at maths. I am good at maths. I am good at maths. And you keep repeating that again and again and again and again, and you believe it to be true. Your subconscious mind accepts it, and you start to have an empowering belief towards maths. And I know many people who have left school with nothing, who went back to college to get their hires, went on to get degrees, and have went on to become, some people I know, head teachers, seniors within social work, in the police. You know, these positions where you thought, you must have been great at school. No, left with nothing. Yeah? So these perceptions we've got about the report card syndrome, the proof we've got, the social proof, but I'm crap at this, look. These are just limiting beliefs. So I'm linking us all back together. If you want to change your paradigms, the way you see yourself, one, you need a goal that's going to stretch you, excites you and scares you, but you need to pay the price to change your paradigms about new self-suggestions that need to be emotionally involved. Plain words won't do it for you. And you write these affirmations every day for 90 days and do the work. And I challenge anybody listening to this. If you think I'm lying, try it. Now, only 3% of people listening here will do it, because 97% of the world cannot be bothered changing.
Yeah.
Not that they can't change, they can't be bothered changing because they've not got enough desire. They don't make decisions to do it. So linking us back to mental health, when it gets too much, there's a belief that I cannot take control. I am not in charge of my destiny. Usually because of what's happened in early years.
Yeah.
Adverse childhood experiences, and again, it could be 1, it could be 7, it could be, and again, there's different thresholds for that, means that it has a link towards lower levels of life expectancy, heart disease, any other big diseases linked to one thing in life that I now know due to the work I did with top professionals across the UK: chronic stress. The link between physical inactivity and chronic stress has never been so apparent, but the work around stress is the biggest killer in life now, because it speeds up the aging process, which means your cells are more susceptible for abnormalities, which means you could get cancer, you could get heart disease, you can get all of these things purely down to stress. So we can reverse that though. The sciences are telling us we can reverse it through meditation, through mindfulness. You can add years to your life, but that's a bit cheesy.
Yeah.
It's alright to go for a pint after the gym because you've worked at it, but getting this mindfulness and calmness and these routines into your life now, which is becoming a wee bit more acceptable. We cannot hide from the fact, to negate these adverse childhood experiences, if you've got one champion in your life who's got your back, that can help. But also if you've got your own back, that's even more helpful. And it's a belief that you can take your life to levels way beyond where you're currently at. And that links back to growth mindset. A belief that things can change.
Magic. It's funny, preparing for this, I've got a quote. Feeling is a word we invented to describe our conscious awareness of the vibration we are in, and our thoughts control our vibration. That's Mr. Bob Proctor.
It is. And that makes sense from a quantum physics perspective, or a mumbo jumbo perspective. But it's about energy. Now, if you take one of your cells and look at your cell through a fancy bit of machinery, you'll see that there's positive and negative electrons around the centre of your cell, which is energy. So if your feelings dictate the vibration of the energy in one cell in your body, so the hertz of an angry cell, you can see that vibrating at a particular level. The hertz of a happy cell, a cell that's in love, there's different frequencies: sad, guilt, apathy, all these different frequencies. And could you imagine times in that one cell by 37.2 trillion? Because that's the amount of cells we've got in our body. That's a lot of energy. That's a lot of vibration. So the law of vibration clearly states that everything vibrates, nothing rests, which is the primary law. The secondary law, the law of attraction, is that you attract whatever you're in harmony with in terms of that vibrational state. So feeling it as being consciously aware of the vibrational state you're in, then we can then choose how do we want to feel today, if that's what we're attracting in our life.
Yeah.
Now you're not going to walk into the staff room and ask somebody, what vibrational state are you in today? You're going to say, how are you feeling? And you'll probably get a few pity parties about the weather and about and the kids, but the point being is, it's a vibration.
Yeah.
Thinking impacts on feelings, feelings impacts on actions, actions impact on results. So we think our way into every result in our life, but we can outthink our way into the results we want. And once we understand this, then the more we can feel in control of what we're doing. And it feels like magic. And you go, how did this happen? All these wonderful things, because you've changed the vibration, just like what I did towards my manager, and attracted a new opportunity in my life.
Yeah. Wow. This has been magic, man. I'm excited by continuing the Thinking into Results program, because I feel personally all the random thoughts and ideas that I've had that I've been either too scared or there's been objects in my way, they're all, in hindsight, they're all beliefs, but I can also see the door now, and the door's opened, and that's because of this program. I'm getting to know you guys, you, Nikki, the community. It's magic, and thank you for this, and thank you for the course. And I mean, what's next for you, bro? Sorry about that.
It's okay. So we'll say, what's next for me?
Yeah.
So, as I said earlier, first half of my life, so 46. I know it's a tough paper around here. But first half of my life, which was 45 plus stoppage, I'm coming out the second half.
Yeah.
With all that learning, and so this next 5 years of my life, I'm playing big. I'm leveling up, taking on new projects, all around helping. The community, going to continue to grow that, help people in all different walks of life. That I'll never stop doing it for the rest of my life. But I want to show people how to really use this material. Okay. And I've got no idea what's about to happen. But I've got a big 5-year goal. So this is year 1 of 5. Yeah. So what, 25, 2026, 2027, 2028, 2029. Yeah. So by the end of 2029, I want to have this story of really showing the amount of success you can get, the amount of learning you can get, what happens when you fail, what happens when you have setbacks, and it starts now. So that means starting new businesses, that means buying businesses, that means really aiming to create generational wealth for children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, to the point where there's a statue of me in every one of the garden. Because of the, but the point being, there's a drive there to really show individuals like me who've came from perceived areas of deprivation. They can go on to succeed and have a life full of happiness, full of health and full of wealth. And that's not just about money or financial freedom or time freedom. Just really showing people that if you really want something in your life, there's principles to success, that we've got the blueprint, that have been here for hundreds if not thousands of years. Yeah. Follow them and you can have whatever you want. So I want to have that story, so I'm leveling up. That's what's next for me. Yeah. And it starts now. Magic. Thank you very much, man. Thank you very much, sir. Yeah. Thank you for having me on, and great to have you as one of the best students that our community has ever had. And I'm not just saying that. Really? In terms of your tenacity, in terms of your focus, your persistence, and your just good all-round energy you bring to the calls, you are such an asset to the community, because... Oh, thank you, man. The guys, you light everybody up every time you walk into that virtual room. And it's a real skill and art to have, and what's to come to you, buddy. You've got no idea what you're capable of, and I cannot wait to watch it unfold.
Thank you very much. Much appreciated, and glad to be part of the team. Cheers.
Well done. Thank you.
Cheers, man.